People think the worst pain comes from being lied to. But no one warns you about the pain of knowing too much, too soon, about the kind of truth that shatters the people you love the most. My name is Zara Amaan. I'm 25 years old. And I destroyed my family with a whisper. I used to think our home was the safest place in the world. A grand old haveli tucked at the edge of Lahore, where marigolds bloom every spring, and laughter echoed in every room. My father, Judge Amaan Tariq, was a fortress of strength, respected, feared, even worshipped by some. But to me, he was quiet mornings with chai, books underlined in red ink, and soft nods when I'd talk about law and justice and how I wanted to fight for people without a voice. He never said much. And maybe that was the first lesson I missed. My mother, Shaista, carried the family like breath in the lungs. She was tradition and fire. The kind of woman you feared disappointing more than God himself. I never doubted her love, but it came with expectations. As a daughter, as a woman, I was to carry our family's legacy with honor, silence, and a smile. Then there was Faizan. He was my cousin. But he was more than that. After his parents died when he was 6, he became ours. He was raised under the same roof, fed with the same hands. He laughed with me, cried with me, fought with me. Then one day he looked at me like I was the only thing worth living for. We were engaged last year. Not arranged. No, it was something everyone wanted but never forced. Felt real. And for a while I thought maybe we could be happy. That illusion lasted until the day Uncle Zubair returned. He hadn't stepped foot in Pakistan for over 30 years. A businessman in Dubai, they said. Black sheep. The brother who left after my grandfather's funeral and never looked back. But he came back looking polished, calm, and angry in a way that simmered beneath polite smiles. It started small, whispers at family dinners, long walks with Faizan, questions about property, papers, who held what. And then I heard it. My parents, arguing behind closed doors. Not shouting. Just tight, panicked voices. I didn't mean to listen. But how could I not? He was supposed to give it up. He signed Amaan. You know that signature wouldn't hold in court. He promised. And I trusted him. That was my mistake. Something inside me cracked. I didn't sleep that night. Kept replaying those words. Signature. Promise. Secret. I should have kept it to myself. But Faizan. I loved him. I thought he had the right to know. I told him everything, thinking it would stay between us. That was the whisper that broke us. The next week, Uncle Zubair filed a civil case. Against my father. For illegal possession of inherited property. The nation was stunned. A respected judge. Now a defendant in his own courtroom. Everything changed. The house turned cold. My mother stopped speaking to me except for instructions. Faizan wouldn't meet my eyes. My father. God, my father. He sat at the breakfast table every morning like he used to. But there was a silence in him I had never heard before. Cameras stood outside our gate. News channels painted my father as a fraud. A brother who stole. A hypocrite. Everyone had an opinion. Cousins started picking sides. Uncles who hadn't visited in years suddenly remembered what they were owed. The house, the land, the reputation. Everything was now a battlefield. I begged Faizan to tell me if he had said anything. At first he denied it. Swore he didn't mean to. But later I caught him on a call with Uncle Zubair whispering, "She found something. We have to act fast." It hit me like glass in my throat. I wanted to believe he was torn. That he still loved me. But when people start choosing sides, love gets rewritten quickly. I turned to the law. I started digging. If there was a document, there had to be a paper trail. One name kept coming up. Rafia Salim, the lawyer who once worked with my father. No records. No addresses. Just vanished. My search led me to court archives, to old files buried in dust and mold, and finally to a care home outside the city. There I found her, Rafia. Frail. Silent. But when she saw my face, she said just one thing. He never meant to hurt anyone. But silence can't hold a house together forever. She handed me an envelope. Inside, a copy of the agreement. The supposed document that Uncle Zubair had signed, giving up his inheritance. But this one had different signatures. Slightly off. Not identical. One of them was forged. I returned home, hands shaking. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know who to trust. Not my fiancé. Not my family. And not even myself. Then I found something else. An old photograph hidden behind my father's law degree. It showed Zubair at a Dubai police station. Handcuffed. Dated 1997. What had he done? Why was this hidden? Why had my father protected him? My mother caught me holding the photo. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just said, "He saved that man's life. He buried the truth for him. And now he'll be buried by it." Everything spiraled after that. The court date arrived. My father stood in the defendant's box, composed, unreadable. Zubair's lawyer called him a liar, a manipulator, a thief. I wanted to scream. But I couldn't. I didn't even know the whole truth myself. And Faison, he was there too. Sitting next to his father. Cold. Distant. Watching me like I was the enemy. That night, I received a text from an unknown number. 2 versions. 1 truth. Be careful who you trust next. Attached was a 3rd copy of the agreement. Handwritten. Dated. Signed by someone I thought had died years ago. I didn't know what it meant. But it told me something else was buried. Something even deeper. I thought I was the one who whispered the truth. But I see now. I was the only one who didn't know what the truth was. My father is hiding something bigger than a property deal. My mother is protecting a secret she never speaks. And Faison. Faison is not the man I fell in love with. The storm isn't over. It hasn't even begun. Absolutely. Here's a revised ending for part 1 that flows naturally from the emotional documentary-style narration and builds intense curiosity, teasing the drama of part 2 without giving away too much. It keeps the audience emotionally invested, questioning, and craving the answers they'll only get in the next episode. I thought I was the one who whispered the truth. But I see now. I was the only one who didn't know what truth was. My father is hiding something bigger than a property deal. My mother is protecting a secret she never speaks. And Faison. Faison is not the man I fell in love with. But the moment that changed everything wasn't in the courtroom. It was what happened the night after. I came home to find my room ransacked. The file was gone. And on the mirror, in red ink, someone had written, "You weren't supposed to find her." Froze. My hands shook. My heart raced. Who wrote it? Faison. Zubair. My own mother. Or someone else. Someone watching this unfold from the shadows, waiting for the family to implode. That night, I saw a figure standing at the edge of the courtyard. They didn't move. They didn't speak. Just stood there watching me. By the time I ran downstairs, they were gone. The next morning, Rafia Salim, the woman who gave me the envelope, was found unconscious in her care home. Suspected poisoning. No fingerprints. No witnesses. And my father. For the first time in my life, I saw fear in his eyes. He didn't ask me what I found. He asked me who else I told. That's when I realized he knows. He knows someone else is involved. But he won't say who. Not to protect them. To protect me. Because whatever is buried in this family, whatever silence we've lived with for decades, it's not just about property or betrayal. Something else. Something dangerous. And someone close, will do anything to keep it hidden. Was the forged document just a distraction? Who really benefits from this case tearing us apart? And why do I feel like I'm being watched? I used to think truth brings justice. Now I'm not even sure it brings survival. This is only the beginning. And if you think you know who's behind it, leave a comment below. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, Untold Realities, and also put on notification for the next episode of The Whispers. Thank you for watching.